Watching a race car being built is a mesmerizing ballet of seemingly random pieces and parts, ultimately coming together in an organized and orderly fashion. Small pieces, big pieces, carbon, aluminum, magnesium, all fitting together like a giant jigsaw puzzle. The build process is an orchestrated symphony of planning, design, and intentionality. New parts are fitted, used parts are checked and rechecked. Parts arriving at the build bay at the appropriate time, not before and not after. Each one equally relied on, none more important than the others. The sum of the parts is a completed, purpose-built racing machine, a car full of complicated systems, each supporting each other to make the entire mechanism function and perform as it should. As the car runs on track, most people don't stop to think that it all came together in the right time, in the right space. In this, it is not unlike the life we live. In 1952, George W. Whelan developed the first rotating aircraft anti-collision beacon. Around that same time, about 600 miles south, Ken Thompson Sr. and his wife drove NASCAR on the local short tracks in North Carolina. This gave little Ken Thompson Jr. his first taste of the thrill of racing. Certainly, these two families weren't connected at the time, but some 60 years later, it's interesting that Whelan's lights would be the official warning light of that same NASCAR series, and that Ken and Brenda Thompson would be feeling a Mustang sampling sponsored Cadillac right alongside one flying the Whelan colors. Ken Thompson Jr. tried his own hand at dirt track racing in 1971. Unknown to him that same year, 4,500 miles away in Sao Paulo, Brazil, a guy named Christian Fittipaldi was born. 44 years later, he would drive a championship-winning car sponsored by Mustang Sampling, something Ken and Brenda probably could not have dreamed of in 1971. Gary Nelson and Mike Hill competed against each other as rivals in NASCAR during the 1970s and 80s. Both were key figures on championship-winning teams. If you had told them back then that they would one day be working together on a sports car team, they probably would have laughed at you. If we cross the Atlantic Ocean in 1988, João Barbosa had just won his first Portuguese junior karting championship, and in 1994 was Formula Ford champion. The next year, in 1995, another driver from Portugal started his first karting race, Felipe Albuquerque. Both drivers had much success in Europe over the coming years, winning many races and various championships. Felipe Nasser was only 2 years old when his teammate Eric Hearn started racing in SCCA club racing, one continent away. Felipe was winning karting championships during the same years Eric was racing World Challenge and Grand Am. Sonny Whelan got the track bug in the early 2000s and raced his first World Challenge race in 2005. Mustang Sampling filed for its first patent in 2007. The same year, Whelan became the entitlement sponsor of the NASCAR Whelan All-American Series. In 2010, Action Express was birthed and won the Rolex 24 in its first try. The following years brought mechanics, engineers, and drivers from all over the globe together to form what we have today in 2018. And so we see all these pieces, random and unconnected in their own respective times, coming together in a perfect order at just the right time, just like the race car being built. All of it happening at the right moment. All of it orchestrated to build a race team that operates at the highest level. All of the components important, all of them required to win races and championships for the most successful team in IMSA competition to date. Mark Twain is quoted as saying the two most important days of your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. Never forget you've been brought to this moment, to this place and time, to do what you were born to do.